Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our webinar today. I trust that you can all hear me. Today we're here to introduce and tell you a little bit about two programs that we have on offer, the MSc in Marketing and the MSc in Management and Marketing. So my name is Helen McGrath. I'm the one of two directors on the MSc in Marketing. And again, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. And we hope that this overview will help you make informed decisions, I suppose, about your future studies and your future careers beyond that. Joining me today, we have a current student on the MSc in Marketing, Alex McInerney, and I'd like to thank Alex for taking time out of her day today. It's an incredibly busy time for our students, so again, thank you, Alex. And we also have a recent graduate joining us today, and that's Laura Healy. Laura is our graduate of the year. She's also working full-time, so again, thank you very much, Laura, for taking time. So we have a few slides that we'll run through today, and of course we will have plenty of time for questions and answers at the end. So just to give you a quick overview of the programme, our MSc in Marketing, it gives you specialised skills and knowledge to become a successful marketing leader. So the programme is wholly focused on marketing. It is a full-time 12-month programme, and our aim is to provide an advanced education in the principles, theoretical concepts, and importantly, the contemporary practice of marketing. And we do place a strong emphasis on practice. Okay, so we do try to bridge theory into practice. So the program was designed by senior marketing practitioners, and we did that to ensure that it was up to date and very relevant to the current jobs market. We bring in guest speakers and we design assessments with practice in mind. And the main idea is to apply modern marketing concepts to managerial decisions. Okay, and in doing so, our overall aim is to transform our graduates into competent marketing professionals. So in that way, a lot of our assessments will involve an external business client, which is really important in terms of gaining marketing experience and, of course, very, very important when it comes to the jobs market. Okay, so who can apply to our programme? Well, if you know that you're interested in a career in marketing, this is a very, very useful programme to have. It is the programme for you. You can apply if you're a business graduate with a marketing orientation, if you feel you'd like marketing to be your next role. You can also apply if you're a non-business graduate, but you do have a very significant interest in marketing. Other people that join us are marketing professionals who wish to build on their existing skills that they have learned in the workplace. Our applicants do need to have a 2-1 or 2H1 degree in any primary degree. However, we do offer consideration. We do recognise prior learning. And if you have a minimum of 3 years work experience, there is the potential to join our programme. So what are the unique aspects of our programme? I suppose what we are doing at the moment is we're trying to continually develop relationships with the Marketing Institute of Ireland, and that is the professional body for marketers in Ireland. The Marketing Institute of Ireland sponsor our Student of the Year Award, and we do hold events with them throughout the year. As I've said, we use a kind of a blended means of teaching. We have interactive teaching, we use case studies, and we bring in many, many guest lectures. We also use practice-based learning. So a lot of our students will actually do an analysis on an external firm, and some of that is kind of set up by us as the university. We do offer placement opportunities, and many of our students avail of this placement opportunity. Whilst they're on placement, they do conduct an applied research project. Placement isn't actually mandatory, but there are opportunities there. We also have a module dedicated to professional and personal development, and this is a really important module for students, particularly at a master's level, because it shows them how to make effective presentations, how to work effectively as a team, how to create a persuasive CV, and it helps them to engage in job interviews with that little bit more confidence. So there are practice job interviews happening in that particular module. So what will I learn? Okay, so we have a variety, as you can see, of marketing modules. Each of these can be viewed online, and you can look at the learning outcomes for each of them online. But just to give you a sample of them, we look at consumer behaviour. digital marketing, service design, international marketing, strategic marketing, digital business-to-business marketing, ethics and sustainability, omni-channel marketing communications. We have a simulation module as well. And we look at business analytics. Okay, so as you can see, we look at business to consumer marketing, we look at business to business marketing. We are very full of important sustainability issues, and we obviously look very heavily at digital-based marketing as well. So how will I benefit from joining this program? So as I said, our program is designed with senior marketing practitioners, so it has quite a practice base. We do try to make sure that our students are ready for the jobs market. You develop a range of valuable personal skills for marketing careers, and as I said, to be able to deliver a very compelling presentation would be one of those. But of course, as well, you can see that we look at service design, we look at strategic marketing, we look at business to business marketing. So we provide lots of opportunities for students to take varied roles in their careers. We help students to develop practical marketing-based skills through working with industry. And of course, all of our modules are delivered by experienced academics and senior industry practitioners. We have quite a large marketing department within the business school and a wide variety of expertise. And of course, our students do benefit from that. The overall benefit, of course, is to become a competent marketing professional. You'll see from this slide that our students, our graduates, they work in a variety of industries. Okay, so they work in consumer goods companies, financial service companies, pharmaceutical companies, electronic companies, consultancy companies. So they do secure employment in a range of very prestigious multinational companies. Some of the positions within that would be a marketing consultant, a brand manager, strategy consultant, digital marketing experts and managers, research analysts, online media associates. So the amount of jobs and the types of companies are very, very varied. Okay, it does open a lot of opportunities for our students. So what do our students have to say about us? Okay, so we have a lot of testimonials, but I have just put two into the slides here that I will read out to you. So this one is from Moshmi. And it says, when I reflect on the MSc Marketing programme, I conclude that my experience not only shaped me professionally, but also personally. The culture of the course fostered the sharing of ideas, critical discussions and collaborations among students and faculty across a wide range of interests. I believe it's rare and challenging to find a group of people with entirely different methodological, cultural and theoretical backgrounds to come together enthusiastically and work on projects. But the course made it seem effortless and engaging because the faculty always entertained new ideas. The workshops and guest lectures by professional marketers encouraged me to explore and experiment, which allowed me to find my niche of interest. What I loved about the programme is that it set me up for a successful career, left me feeling motivated, and is helping me stay driven in achieving my goals at the workplace. Okay, so that's one of our testimonials, and it shows as well that, you know, our programme is very international. We do a lot of work on teamwork, and our students always work very well together. I'll just read out one more testimonial, and this is from Julie Allen. Coming from my undergraduate degree, I thought I knew a lot about marketing, but the MSc in Marketing exposed me to many concepts that I have never considered before. The programme perfectly blends theory with practice, and regular guest speakers made the link between what we learned in class and its application to the corporate world. The opportunity to pursue an area that interests you through industry placements and the research project is invaluable, and one of the main reasons I chose the MSc. There is a real focus on both personal and professional development, preparing students for life after graduation. I also enjoyed the smaller class size, where we could interact with lecturers who are always very approachable outside of class 2. Overall, I am glad I did this course and would recommend it to anyone looking to pursue a career in marketing. And I suppose that is one benefit of the programme that I didn't mention earlier, and that is our smaller class size. Okay, so generally our class size does not exceed 25. So just to finish up, all of the information is available on our website that you've seen today, but do feel free to reach out to myself, Helen McGrath, at helen.mcgrath@ucc.ie, or our other programme director, who is Dr. Conor Drummond, conor.drummond@ucc.ie. So absolutely feel free to reach out to us at any point if you would like any more information about our programme. So I think that's given you a fairly good overview of the programme, but I think it would be good to hear from a current student on the programme. So I can't see the call, but I'm hoping Alex is here. And Alex might talk to us for a couple of minutes about her experiences on the programme this year. So Alex is currently on work placement and completing her applied research project.
Thanks very much, Helen. Yeah, so I am indeed just on work placement. I literally only started this week, and I will be doing my ARP obviously in tandem then with that over the next 6 months or so. But I suppose I'll begin by just introducing myself. So as Helen mentioned, my name's Alex, and I'm currently on the MSc Strategic Marketing at the moment. So I suppose we're like halfway through now at this point. And so I went into this from a very different background to marketing. I came into it from a science background. I actually did an undergraduate degree in science in UCC. And then I took last year out to kind of gain a bit of experience in a more like business style marketing role. And then I applied for this MSc last year, and now I'm in the midst of it overall. So yeah, overall it's been a very positive experience. I would say that everything Helen has kind of outlined is definitely applied and it's implemented in the course that I've experienced anyway. It's a very small class, as Helen kind of touched on, which is really, really nice because you're able to kind of like ask questions. It's very interactive, it's very collaborative, and that's across all modules. Like they are definitely very kind of all of the class members get involved, and everybody is coming from extremely different backgrounds, lots of different, it's very multicultural, lots of people coming from different places. So that was something that I found definitely really, really nice, was getting to know obviously loads of new people, but being able to kind of bring their experiences and, you know, have open group discussions with everyone as well, which was quite nice. In terms of the layout kind of the course as a whole, obviously it's only 1 year and it's a master's, so it is quite intense, but I personally have found it very, very doable. You have like your semester one, which is a little bit sorry, am I speaking too fast? My apologies. You have semester one, which is a little bit longer, a couple of more modules, and then semester two is less modules but a little bit shorter, so it kind of balances out. And as I kind of mentioned, both quite doable, all over really enjoyable. Helen kind of ran through some of the modules with you there, and I definitely found a lot of them that maybe I didn't enjoy as much last semester per se. I'm like really applying now that I'm like in a different semester, like doing different modules and, you know, in my workplace and stuff. So they do all, even if like there's some that you are not as interested in or there's some that you are more interested in, they do all kind of come together really nicely once you've made your way through the course and once you're like on placement or doing your thesis or whatever. So yeah, a couple of modules that I kind of loved as while I'm on the topic. We did an omni-channel module last year, omni-channel marketing, which I really, really enjoyed. I found that it was a really good way of kind of getting a very like widespread understanding of marketing as a whole, because obviously, as I mentioned, I wasn't coming from a marketing background. And international marketing as well, I thought that that was a really helpful module for kind of again laying the groundwork and really kind of giving you, obviously it was from an international perspective, but I just thought it was a really nice module for kind of like introducing a lot of the like really core concepts of marketing and kind of like applying it in a like applied research project or whatever it may be. And then we just recently finished a digital marketing module as well, which I'm like, even from, I only submitted that assignment about 2 weeks ago, and I feel like I'm using all of those skills already in placement. So I found that really, really helpful. So yeah, overall, I think as Helen kind of touched on a few of these key points, it is very applied, it's very practical. The personal and professional development module as well has really given me like a lot of confidence in my presenting skills and my interview skills, which not necessarily mightn't have been there before. And I know for a lot of people that is kind of like a big jump in terms of like you're presenting for every module and stuff. It can be quite daunting, but I think it really does help to just practice and get stuck in. And just overall, it's been a really, really positive experience. And I would say to anyone who might be a bit daunted by the like applied strategic or, you know, the kind of high level of, you know, topics and content, don't be, because there's so many resources. Everybody is really, really helpful. And as I mentioned, I came into it not knowing basically anything. So I've really found it very, very doable, and I've really, really enjoyed it overall. So yeah, I would definitely think it's great.
Thank you, Alex. That's fantastic, and it's really important to hear the voice of the student. You know, it's really important. is Laura here. Laura's one of our past graduates. Laura was our graduate of the year. She received her award on Saturday and on Monday. So well done, Laura. So
Helen.
Laura's just going to talk to us a little bit about her experiences on the program as a former graduate.
Thanks, Helen. So, as Helen said, my name is Laura and I just recently graduated from this Master's in Marketing. So just a little bit of background about me. I did my degree in Commerce and French here in UCC, and then when I was in final year, I decided that I wanted to specialise in marketing, which is why I chose this Master's programme. So one of the things that really caught my attention when I was looking at different master's programs that were available was the 6 months placement that was included in the program. So for me, I did my placement in Musgrave here in Cork, working on the customer experience team, who use service design as a base for what they do. So I found that the modules taught in the first 2 semesters of the Masters were really beneficial in my role. In particular, the module on service design, which would have been the most obvious module that I was using, but also things like research methods along with presentation skills, which I had gotten to practice in the majority of modules, as Alex already mentioned. So my role in Musgrave involved conducting research, analysing the findings, and then presenting these findings back to the relevant teams. And I got to work with brands like the Happy Pear and Rooster's Peri Peri, which was really interesting. And doing all of this research, you know, it was great practice as I started my applied research project, because I was already regularly creating interview guides, conducting interviews and analysing data, which was all really beneficial then when I had to do this myself for the applied research project. So I did the applied research project while I was working in Musgrave, and I was able to use Musgrave as a case study for this. And it was really handy having a company like Musgrave that I could do the research in, because they really supported me through the process. And even like only in the last couple of weeks, I actually got a message from one of my managers from my time in Musgrave to say that the work I had done had been really beneficial to them, which is always really nice to hear. And I think as well, the master's program has been really helpful with like job prospects since I finished placement. So I found that the master's has really been a door opener, because it helps me to stand out, I think, you know, when you are applying for jobs. And I feel like you're really employable coming out of this master's because of all of the opportunities that you get during the year. So currently I am working in Vaughan as a sales and marketing executive. So just in case anybody doesn't know, Vaughan is a Cork-based company who make jams and relishes. And because it's such a small company, I'm currently getting to apply so much that I did learn in my master's in my role here, from things like digital marketing to B2B marketing to sales and negotiation. So I find this program has really helped to give me exposure to aspects of marketing that like maybe I hadn't come across before in my degree. For example, as I mentioned earlier, the module in service design, which helped me to get the role in Musgrave, and then provided the frameworks for my applied research project. And then other things like even recently I was up in Dublin with work at KTEX, which is a food service exhibition. We were exhibiting in Vaughan with other Irish brands. And one of the nights we went out to dinner with all these other brands, and I was sitting at a table with like nobody that I had met before, you know, with people that were working in companies like Barry's Tea, Fahavins and Glenillan. And they started asking me about my master's, and I started telling them about the applied research project and about service design. And they all wanted to know more about it, because it wasn't something like a concept that they had come across before, but they were all really interested in it. So like, even, you know, like in a networking situation like that, it was such a great talking point for me to have. And then I suppose, as Helen mentioned, another great opportunity for me is that I was recently awarded the Marketing Student of the Year, which is sponsored by the Irish Marketing Institute. And I was given this prize last weekend at the Irish Marketing Institute's annual ball, as well as at the Cubs prize ceremony on Monday. And so with this, I received 2 years membership to the Irish Marketing Institute, along with credits towards a course they offer. So these are just some of the, you know, amazing opportunities that I've had since doing the Masters, and I really couldn't recommend it enough to anyone that is considering it.
Thank you so much, Laura. It's as I said, it's great to hear from current students. It's great to hear from yourself as a recent graduate. So I suppose we might open to the floor to see if anybody has any questions before we move on to the other program that we are going to speak about today. So yeah, if you want to ask a question.
So, hi, Manpreet this side. So, there's one question in my mind right now, which is there are two courses UCC is offering for the marketing purposes. One being MSc Marketing, other being MSc Management and Marketing. So,
Yes.
So what is the basic difference apart from the module? If a person is having an offer from both of the courses, so in that scenario, what course one should take? Can you guide on that, please? Because that's being the biggest at this order, biggest issue for me. So can you please guide me on that?
I found it hard. I think your line, either your line or my line, isn't terribly good. But if you're asking what the difference is between the two programs, which I'm not sure that you are, the MSc in marketing is absolutely concentrated on marketing. Okay, so 90% of the modules are marketing based. We do have a research methods module, which is very important. We actually have a business simulation module, which it's a wider strategy module. And we also have our professional development module. With the exception of that, every module is marketing based. So service marketing, international marketing, digital marketing. We don't cover management modules on this program. So it is a specialized marketing based masters. There are no management based modules taught on this particular program. I hope that answers your question. As I said, I found it hard to hear the question. So I hope I did answer it there. So there is a Q&A button. If you want to ask your question in that forum, it might be easier to, I've just opened it here. So if we have any other questions, I'm happy to answer, or Laura or Alex. Okay, so we have, somebody has their hand up, yeah?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Miss Alex, you mentioned that you did not have a background in marketing before attending this program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you work in marketing at all? Or is this your first time like dealing with anything marketing related?
So I took a year out like last year in between doing my undergraduate degree and then my master's. So I did get a role that was kind of like a little bit marketing, but like predominantly admin, I would say. It was just kind of like, it was in a firm that I was able to gain a little bit of marketing experience. More so, I would say kind of from the outside looking in, I definitely wasn't like immersed in a marketing role, but I definitely was able to gain a little bit of a better understanding and just like a better understanding of working in a business setting and a business environment. But I knew it was always something that I had kind of wanted to get into myself. It was something that I considered even before I went into my undergraduate degree. And then from kind of, gaining a little bit of experience and, doing a bit of both with my job before I started, I applied, as I mentioned, and I have found it like extremely doable, as I touched on. I think it was almost maybe beneficial for me going into it. I feel like I had a totally clean slate. I picked up so many things and I've learned so much. So yeah, I did come into it from a completely science background. I did biology in UCC, so a bit of a 180, but I've absolutely loved it.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have a question? If that's it, I would just like to thank you both again, Laura and Alex. Oh, sorry, we have a question. is there any work about lawsuit? We don't really cover law in this particular program. Of course, law will come into it in terms of international marketing, but our program doesn't have a major legal focus, of course. And the other question, I got offered a place for the MSc. Yes, I'm interested to know what kind of job roles we can look for after graduation. I suppose the roles that our students are in are very wide and very varied. We have some people who have gone into brand management roles. We have people who've gone into strategic marketing consulting roles. We have people in Apple, in Salesforce, Dundee. We have a lot of digital marketing specialists. We have strategic managers, we have research analysts. So the jobs market is very, very wide and very varied on the program. But of course, services marketing managers would be another one. So the job roles are very varied, but they are very obviously marketing based. I hope that answers your question. So I suppose if I'd like to introduce Dave Alton, Dr. Dave Alton of our MSc Marketing and Management program. And Dave is going to give us an overview of that particular program now.
Helen, can you see my screen and hear me?
I can see your screen and I can hear you.
Excellent. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining our webinar. My name is Dr. Dave Alton. I am the Program Director for the MSc in Management and Marketing. So I suppose as a starting point here to sum up what the program is about, I kind of use 3 words. So those are diversity, specialization, and also practice. So when we're talking about diversity, first of all, there's a diversity in the different types of subjects that are taught within the actual program itself, but also we have a massive diversity of the different types of students that take the program. So we have a different type of student that takes the program depending on their undergraduate. So we have got people who study law, science, arts, medicine, so on and so forth. And then we've also got a wide variety of students who come from different countries as well. So this year, for example, we have 71 students taking the program, and those are from 9 different countries, from Ireland, the United States, China, India, Sweden, Germany, Spain. So there really is a diverse number of people that take the program, and that adds a huge amount of value in terms of your own networking. It adds in terms of the overall class discussion, and it also means that you've got variance when you go into the workplace after graduation, because not only will you have a master's hopefully in management and marketing, but you will have an undergraduate degree from a non-business focus as well, which is something that employers really like. Beyond that, we need to ensure that we do actually have a specialization in certain areas, and I'll talk a little bit about this later on, when our students can actually specialize in a specific area of marketing or management, from anything like project management, supply chain operations, right through to digital marketing and strategy. There's a wide variety of focus across a diversity of different modules, and that's obviously very beneficial as well. Beyond that, obviously, we have a practitioner-orientated focus, and that means that we are concerned with not only what you learn in the classroom, but your ability to apply what you have learned in an organizational context. So we have a wide variety of different case studies, simulation modules, and we also have a number of guest lectures from practitioners who work in industry as well. So again, it is very much a broad degree, and the opportunity that it will afford you is absolutely huge. And we'll talk about this a little bit later on. I can point to students who have taken our module who have gone over to work in massive companies in the United States, and I can point to people who have come and they have set up their own businesses in Cork and been incredibly successful. So again, diversity, specialization, but also that practitioner focus as well. Sorry, now my slides aren't changing. Right, there we go. So I suppose a core thing to talk about, first of all, when we're talking about the MSc in Management and Marketing, is that it is a conversion program for those students who are coming from a non-management and marketing background. So if you have a degree in commerce, business studies, marketing, any specific area of management, you are not able to take this master's. It is entirely set up and dedicated for those who are coming from a non-business background, like I said previously, law, arts, medicine, so on and so forth. And we do take students from a wide variety of different areas. Again, we have students this year who would have done sociology, music studies, and again, we've got people coming from different backgrounds as well. So again, it is entirely focused on the conversion aspect, in that if you have taken no management or marketing subjects, or very, very limited management or marketing subjects in your undergraduate program, then this degree could be very, very suitable for you. I suppose, why do we do this? It's for two reasons. It's for one, there are obviously students who did an undergraduate in a certain level or in a certain area, and they don't like that area and they want to move quickly into a new space. And we cater for those students the most, because again, we build from the ground up in terms of the different subjects and areas that we teach. But beyond that, we also are very, very useful to students who maybe did something like a degree in medicine, and rather than going straight into medicine, they want to be able to maybe climb the career ladder a little bit quicker. And as a result, having some sort of management or marketing experience on their academic record can obviously be very, very helpful for those students who are looking to climb the career ladder. So it's those two segments of students that we're predominantly kind of looking to take on within this program. So if we're to look at the unique aspects of the program then, so we are accredited by the Institute of Management Advisors and Consultants. So that is a national body who review our program, and they make sure that it is fit for purpose in terms of the skills that are taught to our graduates throughout their program. Beyond this, then, we also have a strong partnership with the Marketing Institute of Ireland, both in terms of the events that we hold with them. We hold a dedicated event with them every year, or once a year. And we also have guest speakers that we bring in directly from the Institute, who can teach our students about the practicalities of working within the marketing industry. And we also draw some of our case studies from industry partners that we would partner with through the Institute itself. Beyond that, the business school itself is AACSB accredited. That means that we are in the top 2% of business schools globally, and we are actually, as things stand, the biggest business school in the country, both in terms of our research income that we generate, and then also in terms of the amount of students that we take on in our undergraduate and postgraduate program. So this program and the program that would have been spoken about previously is AACSB accredited, so you can be assured that you're getting the best possible teaching, and that your cert or your degree after you graduate is going to be very, very relevant to industry, and that it is actually accredited. Beyond that, one thing that students constantly kind of say to us is that they are very much interested in the professional and personal development side of management and marketing. And because of that, we have a dedicated personal, professional and development module built specifically into the program. Within this module, you will do mock interviews, CV and portfolio building, learn how to engage in creative job searches so that you can find the job that you want following graduation or for your internship that you will take at the end of the program, building resilience and entrepreneurship, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, and then also team working skills. So obviously you will be working in teams within your different modules for different assignments, but we also have dedicated sessions within your personal and professional development module to ensure that you do actually have those team working skills that will allow you to work in the most efficient and effective way when you're engaging in group work and when you go to work in industry into the future. So two screenshots here just to show you kind of what we cover within the program itself. So one of these is Dara Fleming. So Dara is a writer and author here in Cork City who does a huge amount of work on mental health and building resilience for business professionals. And we bring Dara into the personal and professional development module as an example who gives people the tools that they need to deal in a fast-paced, hard-working environment, which is what we expect our graduates to work in following graduation. And then you can see this message from current student Cleanna White, who says that it was a very insightful afternoon listening to DC Calnan speaking about what it means to be an entrepreneur to all of the MSc Management and Marketing students from UCC. So DC Calnan is one of the guys that we would work with quite regularly on the program, and DC works for a company called Dogpatch Labs, where he works with a number of startups both nationally and internationally, and that group is funded by the likes of Google, for example. So DC comes in and gives students who may want to start up their own business in the future an insight into what are the opportunities in that particular space and how they can use their skills learned on the program to apply those in an entrepreneurial context. So if we're to look at some of the other unique aspects of the program, so students have the opportunity to complete an applied research project and also have the opportunity to go on a placement. So to be clear in terms of how this works, not all students have to take a placement if they don't want to, but of course all students can get a placement if they wish, but all students need to complete the applied research project. So the majority of our students would complete the applied research project with the placement organization that they are working with at the end of the year. That's a 6-month placement that runs after all of your exams and your assignments are submitted and finished. And to give you some up-to-date examples in terms of where our students are placed at the moment, they're placed in organizations such as Musgraves, who are the biggest retail organization within the country. You've got the BMW Group, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and then also the ESB. So we've got a wide range of different companies that people can work with. If you wish, you can source your own placement through the likes of LinkedIn or possibly your family connections. But we have a wide variety of industry partners who we work directly with to place our students within the MSc in Management and Marketing. If you don't secure a placement, you have the opportunity to work with one of our industry partners specifically on the applied research project. So you won't be working with the organization in terms of being an employee, but you will be working them on a kind of a consultancy basis to complete your applied research project. And some of the organizations that we were working with this year specifically are the Cork Simon Community, who are a local charity, Cork City Football Club, who are a local football club, O'Flynn's Gourmet Sausage Company, who are a big food producer, distributor and retailer within Cork City. And then you've got Jim Grogain, who are a startup organisation in West Cork. And we have some students working with them this year to help them grow their businesses, basically with a business challenge that they are facing at this exact moment in time. So again, we have a blend here whereby students can go on a placement if they wish, and there are opportunities there within the Masters to do that. But if you don't want to go on a placement and just want to complete a project, then we have industry partners there who you can just complete a project with at the end of the academic year. All our classes are split then between main campus, and we have a dedicated postgraduate building. The business school invested in this building a number of years ago, and you can see this photograph on the right hand side where it's more gauged towards kind of case study work, class discussion, teamwork, and so on and so forth. And this building is located in Cork City Centre. So a lot of your classes will take place in this building, which is dedicated to our postgraduate students. But we also have classes then which will take place on our fantastic main campus. So you get a really, really good blend in terms of your timetable and a split between the dedicated building and also main campus. One thing that we recognise within the program is that you're obviously very, very hard working and you need time to complete your assignments and so on and so forth. So as a result of that, for the majority of semester 1, you will be on campus or working in the dedicated building for 3 out of the 5 days of the week, and you will have those other 2 days free to work on your assignments and projects. So that's for 6 weeks of the 12 weeks of the first semester, and then for the other weeks, then you will have 1 full day off at minimum every single week to ensure that you can again complete those assignments, do your readings, watch your documentaries, work in your teams, and so on and so forth to complete the assignment. So we do like to provide as much flexibility as possible to our students, but also recognizing that it is a very, very intense program because it is a conversion program, and we want our students to have the maximum potential when they graduate from this program to get the best job possible, which suits their own skill set and which suits what they're looking for within the jobs market. In terms of the modules that we teach then, so every student will take 2 introductory modules. So if you come into this master's and you've got absolutely no business skills whatsoever, or you've done no business skills as part of your undergraduate degree, we will provide you with the foundational modules that are going to allow you to accelerate your knowledge of these subject areas, and then hopefully go on to specialize then later on as you go through the program. So at the very, very start, we've introduction to marketing and foundations of management modules. We then move on to discuss more specialized modules, talking about things like ethical issues in business, looking at topics such as sustainability, looking at some of the issues that can happen with technology in society. You can see a lot of the work that's going on at the moment in the US in relation to TikTok, and a lot of those very, very complex and interesting subjects would be covered in a module such as ethical issues in business. The next module is a market research module where you will learn core skills around conducting interviews, setting up focus groups, writing surveys to gather data from customers that will allow you to make informed business decisions no matter what the organization that you're working in, and then applying that data and insight that you have to specific case studies or specific industries to apply the knowledge you've learned effectively in an organizational context, either to develop new products, to engage in campaign management, brand management, and so on. We then move on work with people in organizations. So this looks at skills such as human resource management and how you would apply HR skills within organizations. And a lot of our students would go on to work in human resources when they go out on placement or after graduating. We have marketing communications, which looks at things such as brand strategy, relationship marketing, and traditional communication channels such as experiential marketing, and looking at the critical dynamics of different forms of marketing and how they impact upon the consumer in a variety of different ways. So we learn, for example, why do consumers consume a certain brand over another brand? Why do consumers consume certain types of advertising when they don't consume others? And making sure that if you do go to work in a marketing manager type role after you graduate, that you have those essential skills to manage brands in a very, very complex environment now where it is very, very difficult to grab consumer attention. We then have a project management module, which focuses on elements such as supply chain, operations, teamwork management, and a certain amount of risk management as well. So if you are managing a project across a wide variety of different organizations or a variety of different contexts, be it human resource management, be it a marketing challenge, be it an operational supply chain logistics challenge, that you are able to apply the correct frameworks and skills that will allow you to actually successfully complete those challenges using your project management or the skills that you have learned within your project management module. I've already spoken to you about the professional and personal development module. So moving on, we've got digital marketing for international environments, which is the module that I teach myself. That's looking at a variety of different skills from digital advertising, search engine optimization, strategy, brand strategy, social media marketing, etc., and using the more contemporary tools that exist within the marketing environment as a means of understanding how we can reach consumers in the most efficient way possible and generate as much revenue as possible for the organizations that we're working for, or our own business if we're operating in an entrepreneurial context. You've then got consumer behavior. Consumer behavior looks at concepts such as consumer psychology, critical psychology, consumer behavior, and gets into the depths of understanding why consumers do what they do, why they behave how they do, why do we walk through a shopping center in a certain way, how we browse through websites in a certain manner, why we consume certain products over others, and so on and so forth. So it gets into the real nitty-gritty of understanding the behavioral aspects of consumers. And again, we use that insights very much like the market research module to inform the decisions that we make make as organizations when we're managing brands. And finally, then you've got the organizational dynamics module, which focuses on your leadership skills and working within very, very, again, complex in organizations, which have a lot of different people working for them, a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different motivations for why they're working in a particular organization. And this module is to teach you the skills of management and leadership so that you can get the most out of the people that you will be working with in the future. To wrap up then, in terms of the final two slides, so I said to you in the very, very start that this is a very, very diverse Masters, and it's one that is full of opportunity. So our employment rate is in and around 95%. And as you can see here, we have a really, really diverse range of employers that people work with after they graduate. So for those of you who are interested in working for big organizations in places like Deloitte and Accenture, working in consultancy on technology, strategy, management, and so on and so forth, a large amount of our students would go work for these professional firms, giving them the opportunity to travel all over the world, essentially, and engaging in the professional environment that is offered by those firms. We've also then got people who work in completely diverse areas. So, for example, we've got Neil, who graduated a number of years ago, and he is the producer for the Two Johnnies podcast, which, for any of you who are Irish consumers, will know is one of the most popular podcasts in the country at the moment. And then we've got people who go on and work for local businesses, such as Aoife, who works for the Montanati Hotel, and she's a digital marketing manager there, and she's been very, very successful. We've also got the likes of Brian, for example. And Brian would have went on and worked in New York for YouTube and Facebook over the last number of years. So again, you can see from this just diversity of different employers, diversity in terms of different roles within each of these sectors, that people have a massive opportunity following graduation from this particular MSc, regardless of what your background is before you start the program. Finally, then, if we look at two other people who graduated in recent times, you've got Ryan O'Neill. So Ryan graduated, I think, 4 years ago now, and he set up his own company. And Ryan last year, with his company Legit Fit, raised over €1 million in seed funding, and is now running basically an international business with his business partners. And then you've got Katie, then, who got a scholarship for Georgetown University in Washington DC through the George Moore Scholarship, which anyone who knows that university is one of the most prestigious universities in the world, and she is doing a master's in policy management there. So again, our graduates go on to work in industry, either in small local businesses or international businesses such as Google. They go on to set up their own businesses and engage in entrepreneurial endeavors, or they go on to further education such as PhDs or developing their skill set further, either domestically or in international environments as well. So just one other thing that I want to draw your attention to. So one of our industry partners is the FDC Group through the Jack Murphy Scholarship. So the FDC Group offer a scholarship which is worth €12,500 a year, which you can apply for through the UCC website, and full details are available there. You must have secured a second class honours grade 1 in your undergraduate degree, but by engaging with this particular partner, you have the opportunity to work with them as your internship, and you have your fees paid for, and you get a small stipend as well as part of the overall masters. And this is just one example of one of the industry partners that we have a really, really good relationship with, and who provide really, really good training to our students during that placement or internship that you will engage with at the end of the semester. So look, similar to Helen, I think you have heard enough from me at this point. So I am going to invite a past graduate, Vaughan Moore, onto the Teams meeting. Vaughan, if you're available.
Hi, Dave. Thanks very much. Hi, everyone.
So Vaughan is a graduate. Vaughan, when did you graduate exactly? Remind me again, refresh my memory.
I was in Neil's cohort. I think it was 2018.
2018, absolutely. So look, I'm going to ask Vaughan a few questions here, basically, just to give you a little bit more insight from a past graduate. And based on that, then look, we can open up the floor to people who have any questions, either for myself or for Vaughan. So Vaughan, I suppose, look, as a starting point, the classic question: what did you do your undergraduate degree in, and then why ultimately did you decide to do the MSc in Management and Marketing?
Yeah, sure. So I have a little bit of a strange background. So I have a BA in arts, so Bachelor of Arts. I did sociology and psychology. After that, I went in to do an LLB in law in UCC. And basically, a friend of mine was doing this MSc. She had a very similar background to me. She was a law grad. And I just saw the way her career was developing. She was every door that I kind of wanted to have open for myself. She was already starting to explore. And just I was so envious of that I said, like, tell me more about this, tell what kind of opportunities have you, what different modules are available, what are the prospects like. And just over the course of doing my LLB at the time, I just fell in love with the idea of doing the course, and went to the open night, met you, Dave, and the rest was history.
Excellent. So I suppose, look, what's your job now? I know you're a creative producer with Granite Digital, who are effectively the biggest digital marketing agency in the country at the moment, and winning awards all the time. Like I see you attending on LinkedIn. So I suppose, look, tell anyone on the call, what have you been getting up to in the last number of years? Anything exciting, projects, etc., that you've been working on since graduating?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started working with Granite. Like you said, they're now the largest agency in Ireland. But when I started with them, they were really far from it. They were mainly a web agency. They had very little social knowledge, and I was able to come in. I did my research project on TikTok, and that was my first kind of campaign with them. So we had a client, Huawei, and we launched the Jerusalem Challenge, which, for anyone in the Irish audience here, probably remember, it was one of the biggest events during lockdown. Everyone was doing it. Every school, every business, everyone kind of had their own take on the Jerusalem Challenge. It was just really, really enjoyable. From there, I've carried out photo shoots as a creative producer in New York for a fashion brand. I've helped create a recruitment strategy for a billion-dollar BPO company that we work with and consult with, which was just mad at the time. I felt still very brand new to everything, but I was still able to apply my learnings that I had and stuff like that. I've flown to London to oversee a phone launch event that I managed in the National Science Museum, which was just a real pinch me moment. It's such an amazing space to be in. Because of my legal background, I've been able to put together 6-figure plus talent contracts for influencer marketing campaigns, and unfortunately been in some crisis management legal support as well for clients when things didn't go so well. Luckily not from our side, but still all the same, really interesting place to be in. Sometimes too, it's not all about the size of the account that you're working on, or the type of, let's say, industry, but like one of the most rewarding campaigns I've worked with so far is for an alarm company. And again, not the most exciting, but we've did a lot of research on brand mascots and their effectiveness, and we were able to develop a mascot called Fifi, which was basically this tiny little Chihuahua dog as their guard dog. And we've seen so much benefit from it. Like, we've tripled their leads year on year. We've seen the highest amount of leads for the company in a week in the 40 years that they've been trading so far. And we also got a Spiders Award, which is the equivalent of an Oscars in the Irish marketing industry, on the back of that as well. So just really interesting to see it go from initial concept brainstorming to full-fledged campaign.
That's excellent. So, look, you are engaging in a huge amount of different activities as a marketer, again, working for one of the biggest companies in the country at the moment. And I suppose, look, bringing it back to the program a small bit, what do you think are some of the key benefits that you would have seen yourself, that you have dragged from the program into now what you're doing, working in a very successful role?
Yeah, absolutely. I think marketing, because it's so tied in with social media, it's almost looked down upon to a certain degree, that people think, oh, I have a social media account, I know how to market, which is madness in my opinion. It's like saying, oh, I'm good with numbers, therefore I can help you with your accounts or your books. It's something that is kind of undervalued or overlooked, and you wouldn't do it in a professional context. I had been working and running a few social accounts in the background during my student days, managing kind of nightclub socials and things, but I didn't have that level of understanding or professionalism to be able to move from that kind of very low end hospitality kind of stuff to proper corporate marketing. And it was just such a benefit to me. The standard of marketing, I think, is quite low both nationally and internationally, and having the training in this MSc is just, it puts you so much further ahead. I know you mentioned the diversity of having your undergrad and being able to kind of magnify that with the training that you get here. Even just learning how to learn and critical thinking that you get during this MSc, it just provides you with so much more to get kind of leaps ahead or climb that ladder so much quicker than you would expect.
Excellent. I suppose, look, last question then, and we can open up to the floor for a Q&A. If there's someone here on this call and they're kind of humming and hawing, not really sure they want to do the program or not, what would you kind of say to them?
Honestly, I'd say just do it. Like, there's so much more. Like, you're going to get an incredible foundation in management and marketing, but beyond that, it's almost the minimum or the bare essentials of what you're going to get. You're going to get taught it, like I said, the value of critical thinking that you get through this course is irreplaceable. The CV building and interview preparation, it's so valuable. It breaks that kind of barrier that I know I had beforehand, where I knew I had the ideas, but I couldn't necessarily put them together. Or, you know, when you're on the spot thinking, it is really, really valuable for that. The guest lecturers, as you said, are incredible, really, really just inspiring. And the people you meet, both faculty and students, there's a lifelong value there. Like, I found it funny recently enough, within the last few weeks, UCC is actually a Granite client, and I ended up doing a TikTok recruitment campaign, which they featured in. So it'll bring you right back 360 as well. But with this degree, you can go as far and as broad or as near as you need to. The market is so competitive now. You know, the economy is looks like it's shrinking. It just gives you every talent and every extra value that you could possibly need to go forward. I'd definitely do it again in a heartbeat.
Brilliant. Cheers. So look, what I will do is I'm going to open it up for questions to the floor. So look, we've one question already in from Gare, who asks, hi, what size is the class for this course? So this year, we're running at about 71 students. Generally speaking, the program would have anywhere between 71 and 100 students. It depends year on year. Yes, next year we would expect it to be in and around the kind of 85 mark, but it could be a little bit higher than that as well. So look, if anyone has any extra questions, I'm happy to take them. Or Vaughan. We had one sent in earlier on via email, which is a fair question, which I'm going to ask there now. And Vaughan, maybe you want to contribute here as well. So can you talk a bit more about the different types of assessments that are part of the program? So look, it's a really, really diverse assessment range. That's kind of my buzzword of the evening, obviously. So in my own module, for example, I give you a choice of 4 companies. I give you a data set associated with each of those companies, and then you have to basically create a digital marketing campaign and associated strategy for each of those companies. In your marketing communications module this year, there was a really creative campaign around having to create your own brand of hot sauce, and doing again research on your marketing, creating a brand around that. For your organizational dynamics module, it's a simulation. So basically you're working in teams, and you're in an organization, and that organization is experiencing some sort of an external disaster, and you've got to work as a team to basically get the organization out the other side of it, kind of unscathed. So look, it is a really, really diverse range of assignments. There's some stuff which are very, very academic. There are some of them which are very, very practitioner focused. Some are team focused. Some are looking at doing interviews with corporate clients. Some is desk research. Some is primary data collection. Some of it is looking at more analytics. Some is focused on the more creative aspects of problem solving within business. So look, it is a very, very diversified portfolio of assessment. And again, this is all geared towards when you graduate, that you have a diverse range of skills that you can apply in a wide variety of different industries, company sizes, and job specs as well. So look, I think that we are good here. So look, on behalf of, oh, sorry, we have one here. What is the criteria for, hello, I have a question. What is the criteria for admission and acceptance? Okay, so what you have there is that you need a 2-2 degree qualification minimum. And if you are coming from a non-English speaking nation, then you have to have a certain score in the IELTS. I don't have the exact information on that, but that is available on the university website. But from a degree perspective, you need to have a 2-2 degree. And as I say, you cannot have completed a management and marketing degree previously, but any other degree, and you're more than welcome to apply. We've got someone's hand up there. If someone wants to turn on their mic. Manpreet.
Hi, David. First of all, thank you for
Hello.
Hello. First of all, thank you for the thorough journey for the whole program. My question is this program more appropriate for those students who are not from the management or business background? Is that true, or?
Yeah, it's only gauged towards those who are not from a management or business background. So we make sure that you have the introductory modules at the very, very start of semester 1. And we ensure then that you build on those skills as you go through the overall 12-month program. But so there is nobody on this program who has a massive amount of experience in management or marketing, either in a professional capacity or if they have that as part of their undergrad. So everyone is coming in with a clean slate of an undergraduate degree, but in a non-management and marketing background. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that was the first part of the question. So basically, from that explanation, we can conclude that if a person is having experience in marketing or management, or having a degree which is based on management or marketing or commerce, so for that particular person, it will be better to join MSc Marketing in place of MSc Management and Marketing. Can we conclude that?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Thanks a lot, David. Thank you, sir.
Thanks very much for the question.
Thank you, Murray. Thank you.
Okay, so is there any other questions from people in the audience? No, I think we're good here. Again, Vaughan, thanks for attending, and thanks for everyone who's come onto the call. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to give me a shout. My email address is david.alton@ucc.ie. My email is available on the website, and we hope we'll see you all in the new academic year. Thanks very much.